Okay, this video will cover the T.1.J notes, and we're just talking about one thing really quick, converting between degrees and radians. Sometimes it's helpful to be able to go back and forth between the two. Alright, the relationship between degrees and radians. So remember, pi radians is equal to 180 degrees. Alright, so pi radians is half a circle, 180 degrees. So if we're going from degrees to radians, I'm going to take my angle in degrees. I'm going to multiply by pi over 180 because that's my relationship, and that will give me the angle in radians. Alright, if I'm going the other way, I have an angle in radians and I want to put it in degrees, then I'm going to flip this fraction over, so I'm going to multiply by 180 over pi, and that will give me my angle in degrees. So let's look at some examples. Alright, if I'm going to go degrees to radians, I have 150 degrees and I want to change it to radians. So I'm going to do 150 times pi over 180. Okay. Now, when you go to do this on your calculator, again, I'm going to suggest that you enter it in without the pi because we want our radians to be in terms of pi. So we don't want the calculator to involve pi in the calculation. Alright, so when you do this in your calculator, what I would suggest is that you type this in as 150 times 1 over 180. Alright, because we want our answer in terms of pi. Okay, so then we get 5 over 6. And so when you write your answer, then I would write it as 5 pi over 6 because we want our answer in terms of pi. So you can do it as 5 times 1 over 180, or you could just divide because that's all they're doing there. So 150 divided by 180. Okay. If it gives you your answer as a decimal, just change it to a fraction. Alright. If you have a TI, remember it's math, enter. Okay, and so my answer there would be 5 pi over 6. Alright, then we're going to go the other way. So I have pi over 2 radians, and to change it to degrees, I'm going to multiply it by 180 over pi. Okay, in this case, the pi's cancel each other out. So really I have 180 divided by 2, so that would be 90 degrees. Okay, so when you're going from radians to degrees, pi on the top, pi on the bottom, they would cancel each other out. And then you just have 180 divided by whatever was on the bottom of your fraction. We'll do one more example. Alright, 3 pi over 4 times 180 over pi. Okay, again, my pi's cancel out, so now I have 3 over 4 times 180. If I did 3 over 4 times 180, that gives me a measure of 135 degrees. Alright, so what I want you to do is pause here, finish out the rest of these examples, and then I'll put the answers up so you can check, and if you have questions, you can come ask me. Okay, here's what you should have got as the answers for the rest of that examples. So if there's one where you're not sure why yours is wrong, then just put a star by it and come ask me in class. And that's all for the notes converting between degrees and radians.